what? I gotta adjust this lighting in the back. Sorry, guys. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. It's a sad day in the Philippines. Yesterday, last night. Um, First thing I want to say is like Godspeed to. I think that there's already been 30 plus lives lost and many other people hurt. Um, and it's horrible because earthquakes come unexpectedly. You don't know when they're going to come. They just happen. And uh, luckily, luckily, this building here held up very well. It's newer construction. So, but on the 19th floor, a little sketchy. All of a sudden, you're just going back and forth and back and forth. So, I've been in a few good earthquakes before in my life, and I was impressed that this building is designed. Before we moved here, me and my father, I I looked into this building and the construction, and it's got the what they call the honeycomb design, and pretty much everything is built spec wise for earthquakes here because it is the Ring of Fire, it is the Philippines, it's major volcanic area. So yes, you do get earthquakes, and you never know. You never know how big they're going to be. You never know how small they're going to be, and you never know. But unfortunately, there are many other uh, structures that were built 30 years ago, 20 years ago and things get old, and things do shake, and things do crack, and like I said, I feel horrible for the people who lost their lives and their families, and that is just a nightmare. Um, and witnessing the people hysterical here in the building, I was calming people down in the building because there was a gal who lives down at the end of the hall who she's not she was from Chicago, completely terrified. I did my best to calm her down, but she said, "No, I'm packing up. I'm leaving. I'm going to go sleep in my car on the street," which is fine. And I saw many other people sleeping in the parking area outside by the street, and yeah, and it's a terrifying to go through because it's not just you that you have to worry about. It's people with you, and my father, of course. But once again, my heart goes out to the people who lost their lives and the other injured people, and it's a terrifying experience when there's a big earthquake. The little ones aren't so bad. The last major earthquake I was in the Northridge earthquake in Southern California. That was bad. That was bad. That was very violent, and it shook for a long time. I remember, I think I've told that story before on YouTube about my ghost story that just forced me to go be with my children, not my ex-wife. Whatever. But anyway, it's a terrifying experience. But we're okay. Dad's okay, a little shooken up, but everybody in the building is safe. There's no damage here. There's a very there's a few cracks here and there, but as far as damage wise, no. This is a very well built earthquake design building, which everything pretty much in the Philippines now that is built that's above 2 stories has to meet earthquake codes. So, but anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate that. I've been completely off the air for a while for my own reasons, and I'll tell you my own reasons. It's because I've just, as you can see behind me, I've taken down all that crap that has to do with the duck and dipshit of fucking Montecito. But I came to the realization that they take up more of my mental energy focusing on the 2 biggest dirt bags that I've ever come across. And they're my family members. You know, I just, they take up more of my time and more of my energy, and it's just not even worth it to even think about them anymore. So been revamping and just going in the direction I was talking about going in before, as far as like doing a completely different show, which is I'm just so happy about. I feel so much better, but now today, especially with yesterday's events, I can't hold back. You guys know me. I just can't hold back. Humanitarian award, another bought and paid for award by the worst humanitarian who could be walking the planet. I mean, yeah, I could buy myself any award, I guess, if I had charity money falling out of my ass too. But so anyway, I wanted to come on here for that because of yesterday's, last night's circumstances, and it struck home again. So I can't help it. And for everybody who knows that I'm not going through the comments right now like I normally do, it's because the entire building was on partial power off the generator, and my air conditioners finally just came back on about 10 minutes ago, and I didn't want to plug my computer in. I unplugged it last night, put it on the floor, so I'm going off my phone, so excuse me if I don't get to the comments right away. And I didn't get much sleep last night, you guys. I'm sorry, because after something like that, no, you just don't sleep. I was sleeping in my shorts with my personals on me. I had my bug out bags ready to go. Yeah, so no, I didn't really sleep, but I was up all night waiting for aftershocks, because being in California and many earthquakes before in my life, there's aftershocks, and with something that size and something that big, yes, I was apparently had several, I think about 6 or 7 5-pointers, but we didn't feel them here. And it was really weird, because I was standing, I don't know exactly what I was doing, but I think I was walking, like doing something, and I was walking towards the door, and I felt a little something, and then all of a sudden I go, oh no, we're rocking, and we're going back and forth. So being on the 19th floor in an earthquake, that was my first time being on the 19th floor for anything like that. So it was a little eye-opening. I'll take you guys out in the hallway here. I think I can still get my Wi-Fi connection right here. So, but right here on my hallway that leads to my unit and my father's unit, there were some pretty good cracks. So when I was riding this out in the doorway last night, I kept on hearing things falling. I'm like, oh, this is a little worse than I expected, because normally when things plaster and stuff like that starts falling, yeah, it could be bad. And if it doesn't stop, it could get a lot worse. But the building is totally fine. And from everybody who got on YouTube, including Samantha, my sister, you would not even believe the texts that were coming in from her last night. Unbelievable. We're not stranded on the 19th floor. I chose to stay because the elevators automatically shut down. So, and if you go down, you're not going to come back up anytime soon, and then there would not be any services available. I mean, not services, but there wouldn't be any place to go stay. But so we chose to ride it out and just hang tough. It was okay, because I knew and I was expecting aftershocks. And I said, just get ready for them. They're going to come. They're not going to be as bad. And I just watched it. I watched it on the USGS site, and they got downgraded, a little bit less every time. So I already knew from my past experiences that that's what was going to happen. So as far as Samantha getting on Dan Wooten, good Lord. Lower Dad down the side of the building with bed sheets. I mean, that's almost what it sounded like. Put Dad on a shower curtain and take him down the stairwell. Well, Dad was ready to go. and we're sitting here contemplating what to do, and it was okay. And we both decided. I said, Dad, I'm not leaving no matter what. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here with you, whether you go downstairs or not. We're fine. If we sit here and we're going to have uh, another big shaker that like that would shake the building, then I would take him down 19 floors of the stairs, personally myself. So, but it all worked out. Like I said, you just sit here on pins and needles and you don't get any sleep, and but it's okay. So we might have a couple little shakers today, but we'll see how it goes, and we'll just act accordingly. I probably will, you know, start looking for other lower lying, like single level places to live. Pretty much, that's probably what I'm going to do. But the messages I was getting from Samantha last night, it's all my fault, but then it's all Megan's fault. It's all Megan and Harry's fault. And I said, that's kind of irrelevant. I mean, I just mentioning Megan's name anymore is a waste of breath. Seriously. I mean, it's everybody in the entire world knows that she is not a humanitarian. She doesn't give a flying rat's ass about anybody but herself. So, in that respect, Samantha was right. But as far as us being here and it being Megan's fault, because I mean, Megan makes her own bed. Megan's got to sleep in her own bed. Everybody in the entire world knows what Meghan Markle is and what she's made of. And she doesn't care whatsoever. Just because the photos that her and that shitbag Jeff Rayner, tried to stage to make my dad look bad before the wedding. Yeah. Yeah, and that's right. I did say shitbag Jeff Rayner. So, I mean, that all backfired, because that's all that Megan has to hold over my father's head to blame him for their separation, is the fact that he sold photos. I mean, that's why you disown somebody, because the paparazzi corral him into doing interviews, talking Samantha into doing interviews and doing these photos for 2 weeks with 20 emails and text. Oh, it's going to be great. Da, 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 da. So then then it happens. So that's all that Megan has to stand on, is the fact that he was coerced by Coleman Rayner, the ruthless paparazzi, the shitbag who bragged about derailing the royal family wedding. I mean, come on. So if that's all you have, Megan, wow. I mean, I kind of get it. I know why Samantha's really pissed off. I get it too. I've been pissed off for years for what she did to my dad. But here again on this day, the day after the earthquake, is there a phone call? Is there a text? No, there's not. And I'm not going to be the guy who just sits here and just makes his whole YouTube show about ranting and raving about a worthless piece of shit walking the planet who claims that she's God's gift to the world. I'm not going to do that anymore. I have better things to do with my time, way more material and locations where I want to go and just, show everybody, it's just like, just leave all that shit behind. It's just like, who cares anymore? Megan's never going to change. Dad knows that. I know that. Everybody knows that. If there's one dumbass walking the planet right now, it's Meghan Markle, who just makes an ass out of herself every time she opens up her mouth. That's not my doing. That's all her doing. And I'm going to let that be, because I'm better than that. Dad's better than that. And that's the way it goes. But it was kind of funny watching Dan Wood's little show this morning. I was like, a helicopter. Send the consulate and pick up Dad off the top of the building with a helicopter. I actually cracked up. That was really funny. So, but I just want to let everybody know from the horse's mouth right here, Dad's right next door in the next unit over. He's fine. It was a late night. Everything's good. We had one of his friends here. It was great. She bought me a wonderful gift that I'm going to share with you guys like I normally do. But anyway, it's all good. And my phone was just going off last night. There was a lot of people concerned. Um, and a lot of people, a lot of locals here, a lot of friends here. Just, I mean, they were checking in on me. I was checking in on them, making sure. So it worked out, but we're all on edge. And but that's the way it is. Welcome to the Philippines. It's the Ring of Fire. It's a volcanic area, and there's earthquakes here. But I did do my research on the building, and it's a great building. Oh, I almost sounded like Trump there. It's a great building. It's the best building. It's a great design. It's the up to date honeycomb design, and I think they even use elastic cement, the cement that goes like this without shattering. But so we're good. Everything's good. And I do apologize again for not being able to get to the comments, but I put everything on the floor last night. My computer, everything. The power surges. I didn't want to take a chance. I've got a lot of money invested in this computer, so I wanted to protect it. So we're on my phone right now, but I will try and answer some of these comments for you guys. Okay, we've missed your funny videos. We need more laughter. I know. Well, exit stage right. Be careful what you wish for. So a while back, okay, now that we're off to the subject of Megan buying herself another award, just like she bought Harry's Pilot Award. I mean, come on. Really? I mean, doesn't everybody sees the trend here? So it is what it is. And there's nothing you can do about it. Laughing stock of the world, because everybody knows that you have to buy yourself an award, barge people's events, and just continually make an ass out of yourself because everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows what you're about. So, Megan, I'm sure you're really, really used to having shapes like this in your mouth, maybe even from boat trips and stuff like this. But here's your humanitarian award, Megan. Okay? See, I'm nice. Everybody can be nice. And there's nothing wrong with that. The other thing, though, now on to, a friend of mine bought me a very special gift. And we're going to get to that here in a minute. You told us a while back the building was earthquake safe. Yes, I did. Like I said, Kelly McCrory, yes, you're very right. I did tell you that because I did my research on it, because it is a concern to live on the 19th floor. I've never lived in a high rise. I've always lived out in the outskirts and suburbs and in the country. That's what I prefer. But when you come here, you have to start somewhere. You have to put your feet down and you have to figure out where you're going to go. And that takes time, especially with what I have to deal with. And I have to, my dad wants to live on his own still, which is fine, but I have to be close to him, and I have to have certain things close to me, like hospitals, shopping, and everything like that. So it's not as easy to find exactly what I'm going to looking for that's going to suit my needs. So you have to get a place, plant your feet, and start somewhere. So, and I think I did a pretty good job with the place that we have now. The last time that shitbag Carl Larson came out here and totally just lied to my dad and took compromising pictures, because that's all he wanted. And he was probably sent by, the Duchess douchebag herself to come out and take compromising pictures. That's all he cared about. So he lied to my father for weeks on the phone, even telling him that he wasn't even here yet, but he was here, right? So, yeah, Carl Larson. Yeah, everybody knows Carl. Everybody knows my past story about Carl. There's other videos about Carl Larson. But to come here and just harass my father like that is just, sent by the witch of Montecito herself. Obviously, they all work together. But I did my homework on this place, And I feel I made a great decision because I've got everything I need right here in this building. I've got an entire shopping mall underneath me. Um, we're not sitting here suffering in a sweltering 35 degree 40-degree Celsius building, sweltering to death in the Philippines. So these people come out and they write stories around this shit, and it's crazy. I've already gotten messages from people like everything going around YouTube. It's like, oh, we're trapped on the 19th floor. Oh my God, yeah. It's not like that. I'm not stupid. I can handle pretty much just about anything. And I had a plan in place, and it was fine, and it all worked out, and everybody's safe, and that's what matters. Um, there are quite a few things online about buildings falling or collapsing, and there's a little bit of damage, and like I said, uh, quite a few people who lost their lives, 30 plus now or whatever, and it's horrible and it's sad. Um, but that's it. But I appreciate everybody jumping in, um, and Tommy, look after your father. Nice Catholic girl. Good to see you again. The only thing Sam didn't recommend was a parachute. Yeah, I know. Nice Catholic girl. I mean, the messages that poured in on my phone from my guest and my friend who came to visit me and my father were just mind-boggling. Call the consulate, and Meghan and Harry should send a helicopter to pick you up off the top of the building. I almost went down to the bar after that comment. I mean, come on. Are you serious? And then Samantha was just blaming me for everything. It's my fault that we're in this building. It's my fault this. It's my fault. Get him out of there. What are you doing? Dada, you need to get out of there. It's like, shut up. For God's sakes, shut up from your living room in Lakeland, Florida. And that's the way it goes. You have no idea about anything. She called me at 6 in the morning last week, right? Like psycho dialed me until I answered the phone. It's like, what on earth is happening? So I had to answer the phone because Samantha was calling back to back at 6 o'clock in the morning, and she wasn't going to stop until I answered the phone. I'm like, what is your problem? She says, you need to get up off your lazy ass and get Dad to the airport, get him on a plane, and get him out of there right now. There's a Category 5 typhoon hurricane coming. Right? I don't know what news she watches, but that passed like 2 days ago. And I go, oh my God, have you ever looked at anything besides Newsmax or Fox News? Click, don't call me at 6. Bye. So, I mean, yeah, she worries, and God bless her, and God bless her heart. She is my sister, and I do love her. One of them, anyway. But it's like, come on, Vonnie. All right. All right. Let's see. Nice Catholic girl. I only heard Sam blaming Meghan for making your dad. Yeah, I was talking about what she sent text-wise. Okay. Blaming Meghan for making a dad or putting him on that position. Well, technically that is kind of true. She didn't make Dad a recluse. I mean, maybe with all the press, because Dad just wanted a peaceful life down when he went to go retire down in Mexico, and I was down there for 3 years before we came here. So in that respect, I do kind of agree with that she did, because the way my dad works and the way my dad operates in his mind, I get it. He just doesn't like certain things, and that's it. He just doesn't like certain things. So with all the press, and especially with the Coleman Rainer shitbags, yeah, and what they did to my dad and all the other paparazzi, just, making my dad a recluse. Yes, that is Meghan's fault. And, that is Meghan and Harry's fault, 100%. And they could have done anything to make his life better or easier or less stressful. And that was 7 years ago. Now here we are 7 years later. Okay, in that 7 years, you guys, 7 birthdays, 7 Thanksgivings, 7 Christmases, 7 New Year's, 7 Easters. I mean, come on. Not one phone call, not one text, because Megan and Coleman Rainier and old, shitbag Jeff and shitbag Carl, they all sit around somewhere and laugh about this. What can we do? How can we fuck them over? How can we get some pictures? It's so that backfired, because that actually makes me think about something else. Over the last couple of weeks, 3 weeks, I've totally realized something about this social media thing. Okay. Now, allegedly, in my opinion, of course, this is my opinion. This is how I see things. Okay. As far as me calling somebody a douchebag or a shitbag, that's because that's how I feel about it. And they are shitbag people. All right. But allegedly, in my opinion, this is how I see things. All right. Meghan Markle, I swear to God, you post negative things about yourself. I know you do. I know you do. I've looked at the origin. I've looked at the places where your ads come from. I've looked at yours. I've looked at all the, and believe me, I know it's got to be 100% true. You post you have probably 15, 20 different sites, not on YouTube, right? But you have, well, possibly on YouTube also, but you have quite a few. You have your personal, probably 10 sites, 10 pages that you personally have yourself, probably more than 10, but guaranteed you probably have 10 or 15 other ones that you pay for, and you pay people to post on negative things about you for sympathy, the poor me victim card. And it's disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And it's so obvious because nobody gives a rat's ass about you. Nobody in the world thinks about you, right? You create all this drama yourself, just like I said in the very beginning with that famous letter that I actually have the original copy on. It's so true. So wallow in your glory, wallow in your life, but it's just disgusting. 7 years later, right? Did you call? Did you text? Is dad okay? Have you helped dad? Have you helped make his life less stressful or easier? Have you given him one nickel? One of those 2 nickels from the Sizzler salad bar? No. All I know is dad laid out probably close to $700,000 to get your sorry ass where it is right now, and you can't even call to see how he's doing. So take your humanitarian award right here. Maybe you should take this out on a fishing boat, right? Warm yourself up. Give all the sailors a good time, because pretty much, as far as I can see, that's all there is. Maybe you could sit there and just bait people's fish for them. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, enough of that. See, I didn't even want to go there again, but I have to. I have to. It's my job to make sure that the entire world doesn't buy into this crap, right? No matter how many things she posts online, she's going to make herself feel better. I guarantee you she sits there and looks at herself in the mirror and comes up with these little, oh God, I would just puke if I was just anywhere around her the way she acts. It's gross, disgusting. I would never associate myself with anybody who acts that way, who's that rotten and evil to the core, Anyway, Megan, I'm sure you're watching, or eventually you're going to watch, and don't worry. Dad's fine. I got him. I've been here every single day since he had a stroke. And that's, no matter how hard it gets and how frustrating it gets for me, right? Up here, not physical, but it's up here. It's a lot of work. So, like I said, Megan, go choke on this. But probably with your experience, Megan, you probably need a few of them that might be a little bit longer, you know, or several of them at the same time. But yeah, have fun with that. So let's see. I will keep everybody updated on the situation here. If we have some more shakers, I'm definitely going to tell everybody, and I'll definitely do another show and keep everybody updated, because I don't want people to worry. And I did get a lot of that on my phone, like, oh, a lot of people worrying about me. So I do apologize for that. And yes, Samantha was worried about it, but she gets a little irate and a little off the deep end, and so, but I get it. She loves us. She loves Dad. She loves me, sort of. But, are you guys ready for something special? Of course we are. All right, Rachel loves. If it wasn't for Megan, who would know this loser? Wow, Rachel, if you didn't have your face so far up Megan's butthole, who are you? And you know what? Oh God, you're just as disgusting as she is. Bye, Felicia. Mm. All right. If it wasn't for Harry, who would know Megan? Nobody in the world at all. Maybe her co-stars on Suits. Everyone knows they are toxic trolls and know that they are frauds. Yes, nice Catholic girl, but if she didn't create all this drama, it would keep her out of the news. That's right, nice Catholic girl. 100% correct. Lake 17, I am waiting for Karma to come calling for. Oh, it's coming. You can bet your ass it's coming. The thing about karma, and I've said this many times before, karma does come. And it may take its sweet ass time, but boy, does it come. Extra exit stage, right? Samantha is just scared. Yes. You are absolutely correct. She is just scared. She only cares. I know that. I just have to, It's done. Gail's comment has already hit Rachel. Just look at her face. Yes, Gail from South Australia. Yeah. Especially crashing Costner's event again. Did you see her standing on the sidelines? Like, is it my turn to run out and grab the mic? Okay, you guys. Let's see. Thank you, Kathy Lee. Yes, we're okay. Lori Harris, I'm glad your dad is okay, Tom. Yep, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, it's nobody has an idea. I mean, until you're in this situation, until you take that on yourself, and you have to commit to it, no matter how hard it gets. I mean, it's very costly, and you have to stretch your dollars. You have to just keep that constantly in the back of your head, and you have to make it work. But it's just weird. The man who gave her everything, and she just shits on him like nothing, throws him away like nothing. Just weird. I mean, people have arguments in families. People don't get along sometimes. Me and Samantha fight and have arguments all the time, but the next day it's over, and it's just on to the next day. That's how it works. You don't just weird, especially if you're in the spotlight. I mean, good Lord. How embarrassing for Meghan. How embarrassing for Meghan Markle to be known as that person. Oh, that's gotta suck. Whenever you go out in public and people just talk behind your back, and the only ones who would want to be with you or photograph with you, or just, they have no idea. Maybe they have their heads under a rock. Who knows? But from what I've heard from people that I know where you live, Megan, what people say about you behind your back, oh God, yeah, because they know, because it's people like me who tell them. So, and I'm so happy about that, by the way. So you just enjoy your little fake paid for humanitarian award that was paid for by charity money that was donated for a different cause, but 95% of it goes in somebody's pocket and 5% goes to like maybe buying pencils or pieces of paper or feminine products for people. I mean, seriously, foul, foul, disgusting principles. How that is all set up, you know, it is. So, and then trying to squirm your way back into the royal family, sending Harry to do your dirty work and talk for you. All, of course, allegedly, in my opinion. But how embarrassing, because that door is closed. Obviously, I mean, the door is closed. So you have fun with that. Okay, so are you guys ready? First of all, I would like to showcase something that the same friend gave to me a while back. And I finally cracked it open and enjoyed it. And I'm going to tell you something right now. This right here, you see that empty jar? Now this is some damn good strawberry jam. I made 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches out of this bad boy right here, and they were just fantastic. The absolute best peanut butter and jelly sandwich I've ever had with strawberry jam on it. So thanks, High Grove, and thanks, King, or would that be grandfather-in-law? Something like that. Good stuff right here. Now, you guys have the privilege of witnessing the first cracking. Look at that. Oh boy. Look what I got. Let's just have a little look inside of this overpriced, ridiculous, stupid packaging for Marmalade. It's fucking Marmalade. You know, it's not a Rolex watch. No wonder it cost $27. The packaging was $26, and the stuff in the jar is probably not even a buck, including the jar. But look at this. It's like you're like, oh, you're getting a Cartier watch. You're getting the Rolex of Marmalade. Okay, let's have a little look. Because, yes, folks, this is a taste test live on the air. I'm so happy to come across orange marmalade. Now, I happen to be a big fan of orange marmalade. I always have. It's just great. It's not always good as your everyday jam, but I'll tell you, every once in a while, orange marmalade is pretty spectacular when when you put flour sprinkles on it on a piece of bruschetta, possibly, or a Ritz cracker. But let's just have a look because this is the first time it is sealed. It has not been opened yet at all. And we're going to do a live taste test. Like I said, the King's Strawberry Preserves, off the hook. I mean, hands down, the best peanut butter and jelly sandwiches I've had in my life. And I even tasted a little on its own just to make sure it was that good. That's what really set off my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Just took it to limits, unimaginable height limits as far as taste and quality and texture goes. It can't get any better than this. So good on you there, granddad-in-law. Appreciate that. Now, listen. Oh, the seal is broken. Here we go. Now, recently, I did a little chili cook-off here. I was a judge at a chili cook-off here at one of my friends' places here. And there were several categories that I had to judge. Taste, texture, smell. But this was chili, so there was heat and stuff like that. So we'll just do flavor, smell, texture, color, and overall. Okay? So let me do the smell part first, guys. Here we go. Right here. Honestly, if I had to mark this for aroma and smell, I'm dead serious, and I'm not making this up, you guys. I am not making this up. 100% real. Fantastic. Right off the bat, one smell. Aroma, smell, fruitiness. You can almost taste it when you smell it. I'm not kidding. Let's go back to the I can barely smell anything. And I'm not kidding. Not kidding. As much as I'd like to, rub salt in the wound here, this is not about that. This is an actual taste test. And I really don't smell anything orange, and I definitely don't smell any marmalade. And I've had many other marmalades. That's a big fat 0. A 0 for smell. Right now, I'll just jump right to the color. Anybody see? This has not been touched. Not been touched. Everybody heard the safety seal pop. The color looks like, in my opinion, it's not like sparkling like orange marmalade should be. You should be able to. This more looks like that color when you change a baby's diaper. When that first big blast comes out. I mean, when they're just starting to wear like diapers, and you got to. This is like one of those ones. This is like the baby diaper color. Yeah. What gets blasted in a little kid's diaper? That's the color, right? Because there's no smell. There is no aroma that would make me want to even taste it. But, so the color, we got the baby crap yellow. We can all agree that, the color will give it like a 1 for, not even a 1 for orange marmalade. We'll give it a quarter of a point for orange marmalade color. For baby shit yellow, it gets a 10. Ooh. I'm almost afraid because it doesn't have a smell. And now I've got it in my mind that it tastes like something out of a baby's diaper. But, okay, well, it's very, like, okay, let's see. It's got actual orange peels in it, right? It's got actual orange peels. Maybe now it'll smell. Well, if I dig down, it smells a little bit like orange marmalade. I mean, it should be bursting. It should just be like, the way that she promotes it online and on her cooking show, it should just jump out of the jar by itself in my mouth with flour sprinkles following behind it. But let's give it a little taste. Let's be fair. 0 on the smell, 0 on the color. I mean, baby shit yellow is more like the color, not orange marmalade. And the texture, I'm gonna give the texture like, I don't know. There's some thick, crunchy bits down here. I'm gonna give the texture a 2, just to be, fair. But now for the taste. That's disgusting. Ugh. That is fucking rotten. That tastes like shit. Seriously, that tastes like shit. That is gross. That is nasty. I'm sorry. Um, Gross. Disgusting. I wouldn't feed that to my dog. Dog wouldn't even eat it. I don't even have a dog to feed it to. If I did, I wouldn't feed him that. Ugh. Foul. Ugh. Yeah. We're just gonna leave that alone. That's as ever apricot. We're not. Yeah, marmalade, orange marmalade. After trying that, I wouldn't consider putting. Ugh. Anyway, guys. All right. So number one so far, great. Foul and disgusting. That's the way it goes. And that's 100% honest. That is my evaluation, my opinion only of as ever marmalade, and it is truly truly foul and disgusting. Zero smell, texture, no smell, no. The color is off, and the taste is rotten and putrid and rotten and disgusting. And the box is gaudy, like you're buying a freaking watch. So I don't know. You know, the cheese done slid off the cracker. You know, the lights are on, but nobody's home. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's it. But anyway, guys. Um, so I just recently had a birthday, 59 now. So that was great. I had a great party, a lot of great people over. Um, and that's about it. Henry and earthquake. So just checking in with everybody. I appreciate everybody. Oh, look, wait. That's me on the table. I will keep you updated if there's any more, but I said that I would take you guys out and show you the 19th floor. Anyway, so up here, everybody can see. Yeah, you can see it can get a little scary up here if you're rocking back and forth a little bit like this, like we were last night, right? But here again, all the buildings here in the Philippines are built very strict codes. This is probably one of the newer buildings besides that one going up. I think there's another one going over there and another one over there. That bridge, by the way, guys, right there, that's the bridge that goes to Lapu-Lapu, the island Mactan, Lapu-Lapu. And there's videos of that online that you can see. The bridge was going like this, and there was people crossing it on their bikes, and it was a little sketchy. There was some damage to one of these piers down here, but everything seems to be going normal again. And but pretty much the same. It's another beautiful day here. But you can see how being on the 19th floor would be a little sketchy, going back and forth, rocking back and forth like that. And come on here. Okay, now, so last night when I was here in the safe zone, right? I heard chips falling on the ground. They've already swept them all up, but there was like plaster chips. So up here you got some little cracking up in here, but not very deep. I mean, this might be an issue, but down here we got some little ones. Down here, that's not good. But overall, down here farther, and it keeps going down over here. And that was probably about the extent of it. But for a 6.9 on the 19th floor, the amount that we went through, I mean, it was scary, but it held up pretty well. And that's about it. And then downstairs, I guess in the mall, there was a few tiles that popped off here and there, which was not that big of a deal. There were some other malls that got um, some worse damage. And like I said, there was 30 plus fatalities, which is horrible. My heart goes out to them, and quite a few people injured. So I'll probably venture out and see if there's any other outlying buildings or anything like that that got severely damaged. But I wanted to check in and say hello to everybody because I haven't been on in a long time. And that's it. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your time and your support. And we'll see you soon on other things. Yes. All right. Love you guys, and see you on the next one.